Hey, kiddies in the house.
Hey,
yo,
hey,
oh,
distraction.
Oh, I love you, mama. I love you, mama.
In a minute, okay?
You, mama.
Sticking up, yeah.
No, yeah, it's fine actually.
You need a friend like this. Get you a friend like this.
I actually don't know how you do this, you know.
It's hard, you know. It's actually hard.
So the kind of main thing that I've learned in my marriage is to not text when you're angry.
Oh, preach it, sister. So far and about.
It's them next door.
Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you're all doing well. So today I am joined by my BFF, my Polish wife, my bestie, this boom thing.
Forever. Yes.
So I wanted to bring her on today because she's a new wife, she's a new mum, and I thought it would be very interesting to get to know a new wife and a new mum's perspective on marriage and motherhood. So yeah, do you want to tell them a little bit about yourself?
Yes, so in English it's Katarina.
She's got a few names.
So my English name is Katarina, or a lot of people call me Kasia, and I am Polish, and I'm very, very proud of my heritage, and I speak.
Dzień dobry. She's given me a Polish name.
Yes,
this is how far it goes.
Yeah.
Like.
So I'm very fluent in Polish. So any Polish subscribers, witam was.
Witam was.
Proszę napiszcie na dole. But yeah, this is my Polish protege. I taught her a lot about Polish. You know what I mean?
She really has.
Her name is Samirka, actually. So yeah, I've been married for over a year now.
It's almost 2 years.
Nearly 2 years. Got a 10-month-old daughter.
Beautiful daughter.
Oh, thank you.
My chunky butt.
Yeah. Yeah, happily married with a gorgeous man. Gorgeous caramel latte, you know what I mean? But yeah, so yeah, I'm quite new to this, but
this is your first time doing a video, right?
Yeah. So I featured.
I think someone wants to say hi.
Come. Yes. So yeah, and I'm the godmother. Hi. So yeah, we've been friends for how long now?
18 years.
Mad.
19 years. 19 years this year.
Mad.
That is crazy. It's crazy.
But yeah, feel honoured to be on this channel.
Bye guys.
Little disclaimer: if you hear any moans,
loud bangs,
yeah, that's our kids.
Oh gosh, they're in the next room. So anyway, yeah, with someone, they're not alone. So we haven't just locked them in a room somewhere. Like
we kind of have. They're with an underage girl.
They're with a minor
who made us food, cooked, clean.
No, not really. So yeah, so I just wanted her to, you know, share a couple points and just share her perspective on being a new wife and being a new mum and what you've learned so far. So if you want to hear a little bit more about that, stay tuned. Okay, so firstly, we will talk about marriage. So what would you say is one thing you've learned in marriage so far that you'd like to share?
So I think the kind of top point that I kind of thought about was that your husband or your partner cannot read your mind. Like, that's
a good one.
Yeah, I think a lot of the times, especially as women, we kind of misconstrue the fact that
misconstrue.
But yeah, as women, like, we've got a habit of kind of just thinking, yeah, like, he knows what you mean. And there's a lot of times where we actually, as women, do not know how to communicate. Not to kind of, you know, bring women down or anything, but to kind of just, you know, just kind of rewind, take a step back and think, is he going to understand? Does he know what I mean? And to be honest, men like it when you put it plain and simple and you just tell them.
Like stupid simple.
Yes, like literally like A, B, C, D, 1, 2, 3, like literally. And I found that I think, oh, he'll know this, but realistically he doesn't. And when I do finally kind of speak to him about it, I kind of see the difference in our relationship. And if there is a problem or there is an issue, I am going to tell you plain and simple. And to be honest, I've been doing that for about a good few months now. And because before I used to be one of those people who were like, oh, he'll know what I mean, and kind of get upset subconsciously because I'll think, oh, he doesn't know how I feel, or he doesn't know what I mean about the situation.
That's
but
exactly what I was going to say. You get angry at the fact that they don't know, but of course they don't know. They're not mind readers.
Yes, exactly. So And yeah, and I found that communicating that more effectively and telling him how I feel,
breaking it down,
like literally made such an improvement to our relationship and our marriage, communication, our friendship, because you have to be friends in a marriage as well. And yeah, and it's like just as us as friends as well, like I always if anything happens, I'll tell you, like, Samira, this is what happened, why, you know, this is how I feel, and that's how we communicate. So why shouldn't you communicate like that with your husband?
Different, that's a really, really good point. And like what you said, if you don't explain yourself properly, they're never, because let's be honest, men and women are completely different. I feel like we're two different species because we're so drastically different in terms of how we think, our perspectives, how we, you know, process and digest different situations. It's just completely different. So, you know, it's so true what you said. If you don't express it, especially not just expressing it, but delivering it in the right way, because you can express yourself and get things off your chest, but it's down to how the person's receiving it. So if your delivery is poor, what you're saying is probably going to be null and void as well. So expressing yourself, but making things clear, you know, not internalizing things. And that's one thing I was going to say, that I found that in my first few years of marriage, I would really internalize things. So whenever I felt like there was a problem, I would expect him to know, because of the fact that I was upset. It's like,
and
if
you know
me, it'll eat you up, literally, you know. You expect him to know, and if he doesn't know, that's a problem as well. Like, how you're supposed to know me inside out, how do you not know that I'm upset and why I'm upset? But such a good point. They're not mind readers, and you do need to explain yourself and explain yourself effectively.
Definitely.
So that's definitely good.
And I was going to ask you as well, because obviously you've been married for 10 years.
10 years, baby.
But like, did you find that it got easier as the years have gone on, or would you say it got a bit more challenging? Because I do feel like sometimes when you're with the person for longer, that's when you kind of start to have this kind of mutual almost, you should know me, like, so I don't have to tell you. So do you think it got harder or easier to communicate and tell him how you feel?
I think a bit of both. So I would say it's definitely gotten easier in the sense that, you know, we do know each other more, and we do know, okay, I know what's a trigger for him, he knows what's a trigger for me, he knows what will upset me, I know what will upset him. So it's easier in that sense, but it's harder in a sense where, you know, like you said, because you know each other very well, your expectations are even higher, because you know that. So if I know that Morgan knows that, I don't know, not putting his socks away is gonna upset me, and he does it, then
why are men all the same?
Literally, like,
the socks right there, right on that table, like right
it's
now.
like the washing basket is right there.
Put
it in the washing basket, but no. Anyway, that's a whole other subject.
This is also a message to our husbands: put your socks away.
Do what you need to do. You know.
Keep us happy.
Keep us happy.
Happy wife, happy life.
It's so true. Like, it sounds cliche, but it is so true. But anyway, we digress.
Yes.
What was the question? Has it gone harder or easier? So yes, it has. So it's a bit of both. So your expectations are a bit higher when you've been together for longer, because like I said, you expect him to know, you know, but then at the same time, personally for my marriage, things have definitely gotten easier, because in the beginning, you know, we were stripping each other bare, like really getting to know each other, like emotionally naked, you know, in front of each other. You know, you can't hide anything, all your flaws are going to come out. So that was hard, you know, in the beginning, just learning all these new things about him. And then obviously as time's gone on, I know him, I've gotten a better understanding of who he is, and so that makes things easier in terms of, you know, moving on from things when things do occur. So
the next thing I would have said is kind of similar to the first point, but goes a bit deeper. So ask and don't assume. Massive one. And similarly guys, I'm Polish, loudly.
The accent wants to come out.
It has to creep up, boy. No, I was just gonna say a bit similar to point one, where like men and women are not the same, we don't think the same, we don't communicate the same, and asking and not assuming is a key to a happy relationship.
Give us an example.
So for example, whenever I go out and I stay till a bit late, I always kind of assume that my husband will want to come and pick me up or will pick me up. So when I am kind of ready to leave wherever I am, I just make an assumption, text him saying, you know, can you pick me up please, blah blah blah. And if it's a thing where he cannot because he's somewhere else and he's doing his thing, I get angry. And when you think back, you just think, why am I actually angry? Because I'm assuming that he is free and he can come pick me up and drop everything to pick me up.
It's not his fault that you didn't ask and check.
Yeah, exactly. So I just think kind of communicating that better and asking rather than assuming, you know, would have kind of avoided a lot of situations. And let's not hide the fact that women do get angry quite easily.
Just a tad.
Yes. So we're so quick to go from 0 to 100.
Yeah.
Especially when it's around that time, you know, ladies, you know what I'm talking about.
You know how it is. You know how it is, girl.
So
it's true.
So honestly, like, asking now. So before I go out now, I kind of learnt to be like, you know,
what are you doing later?
Yeah, like, what are you doing later? Is it okay if you pick me up? You know, Uber's going to be a bit expensive from this place to this place.
That's
like,
good.
You know, it'll hit our budget. Kind of emotional blackmail or financial blackmail.
You gotta know how to, you know.
Yeah. You have to know how to play the system. So, no, but in all honesty, it's just kind of asking. And it's such a simple thing, but it can blow up such a huge scale. Like, little things, can cause so much issues and problems when in reality, he didn't do anything wrong. It's all you. So admit it, apologise, get the Uber.
Yes.
Next time ask, don't assume. But yeah,
that's a good one. I think that's really true because especially like, I remember when I first got married, that's something that I really had to learn, because when things like that happen, you want to blame your spouse, you want it to be their fault, you don't want to be the one that's in the wrong. And I remember I just used to be so frustrated with Morgan. I used to be like, oh, he's not doing this, he's not doing that, but God literally had to speak to me and say, no, but look at you, look at your attitude, look at the way you asked, look at this, look at that. And it's so true, like, you make assumptions and you assume that he knows this, he knows that, but they're not actually trying, like, they weren't created to annoy you. They're not trying to irritate you, they're not trying to, you know, mess things up or cause arguments. It's just genuinely, men think differently, women think differently. So, you know, similarly to the first point, you know, you just need to make things crystal clear. And that comes along with just asking, having that conversation.
So another point that I've been thinking about is that not all problems need fixing, and not all problems need a solution, and sometimes it's just about a discussion and reaching a mutual agreement. So not necessarily looking at the problem as a problem, but looking at it as a lesson and something you can both agree on, move forward and avoid in the future.
That's a good point. But do you know what is hard as well? How would you explain, so how would you differentiate avoiding a problem? So if you want to avoid it in the future, then it's a problem. How would you differentiate?
How I kind of perceive it is in a sense that, like kids, for example, if you say to a kid, do not touch this, this is hot, it'll burn you, they're not going to do it next time because they're going to know, Mummy said this is hot.
The consequence if I do it.
Yeah, exactly. I am going to burn my hand. So yeah, similarly. So
Polish is fighting through, really fighting.
It's trying. It's like a little demon. Like, it's a similar point to marriage. Is so there is a problem and it can be very fiery. For example, quick to anger. You know, and then that escalates into other issues. So I'm not saying it needs fixing in a sense that, oh, you know, you need to change overnight, you can't get angry, etc.
If it doesn't change today, we can't be together anymore.
Exactly. And that does happen, you know, people blow things out of proportion. So it's just kind of addressing it, finding a solution, and how you can avoid it in the future is, you know, like, I know it's very hard when you're in the moment, but actually being in the moment and being the bigger person and kind of saying, do you remember what happened that time when this happened? Like, we got too angry, it escalated. Talking from experience. So yeah, it's just kind of like, not necessarily looking for something to fix the issue. And I know I keep using the word fix, but that's what many people try to do.
Yeah.
And when you do try to do that, your husband, your spouse feels the pressure, and it gets too much.
And I like the fact that you said fix, because I feel like we are like the microwave generation. Everything we want, we get it straight away. Even if your internet is taking a little bit longer to buffer, you get frustrated. Like, we want everything done, and we want it done now. And so you can kind of come into marriage with that mindset as well, expecting that your spouse is going to change something overnight just because you don't like it. But it's so true, it doesn't work like that. Some things take time, some things take just time to digest and work and effort, and you could even, for yourself, I'm talking for myself for example, you want to change something about your own self, and no matter how good your intentions are, it doesn't matter how much you try, there's certain things that you cannot change straight away, just because that is life, and that is where I feel God comes in, because speaking for myself, like, I don't think I'll be married today if it wasn't for my beliefs and God being our foundation. Because when you do feel like killing each other, you literally need what is your moral compass, what is gonna keep you guys rooted together. And it's really, really important to know that the things that you can't control and the things that you want to change and you feel like you can't, God can definitely help you change those things. So it's so true, it's not an overnight fix kind of thing with marriage. And
to kind of expand on your point of God as well, I am in a Christian kind of marriage. So I've been saved since 2012. October 2012. So not that long, not as long as Samira, but I've she's an OG in this game.
I'm an OG, veteran and that.
On her level, I'm still like trying to catch up. But
it doesn't mean anything.
I know. It's true. It's about your relationship with God, and to kind of bring that into what I'm trying to say is the fact that when you do have God, you do feel more rooted. And why it's different from a marriage where you don't really have kind of God at the center is that it kind of makes you not want to give up, if that makes sense, because you're in it for life. Like,
there's no other like, there's no option for divorce. We're doing this. So it's kind of trusting God and then trusting each other. Keeping God at the center is key to a relationship. And as long as you're rooted in God, you can work. It's a strong anchor for both of you.
Yes, exactly. So I do believe that as your foundation is essential. It's like a pyramid. Having that, the strength of the pyramid, is the key thing.
Analogies.
But it's true. So
it's true.
I do really believe in that.
So I think we can leave it there with the relationship talk. We can literally be here all day talking about marriage and relationship, but we're gonna discuss motherhood now. So I want to know
my favorite.
Your favorite.
Yes.
Her baby's gonna be one soon. So what has your first year of motherhood been like, and what would you say are a couple of things you've learned and a couple of things you could advise for a new mum?
I think my top tip or kind of reassurance is you can never prepare enough for parenthood.
For sure.
Yes. So I'm surrounded, when I say surrounded, by people who have children, been married for a long time, have that kind of family foundation for many years, and I've been overloaded with literally tips, manuals, books.
You've seen the experience,
seen the experience firsthand. Literally been there
from
everything.
Birth, pregnancy, everything.
So you panic and you think, oh, all this pressure, like, am I going to be a good mom? And and I'm not saying all those people don't have the answers or good advice. By all means, you need to learn from wise people, but don't put that pressure on yourself. And even though yes, you have good advice and tips and people around you, I'm telling you, nothing can prepare you, because especially as a first-time parent, you learn on the job.
Yeah, as you go.
There's no job description. Or there is a job description, but
there's no manual.
No,
they're not telling you how to do it. And it is so true, because even though other people's advice could be great, but a lot of the times, this could be with relationships as well, some advice is specific to that couple, some advice is specific to that mother. So not everything is going to apply to everybody. You know, we're all made differently. And I was actually talking about this the other day with Tolu. And yeah, we were just saying, hey T,
we love you, girl.
and we were just saying that basically God chose specific parents for specific children. It wasn't just a it did do. You know, God knows why he gave you your children, because of the way you are, and he knows what you can handle and what you can't. And I just think there's no point in trying to shape and pattern yourself after another mum. You know, just be you. You know, don't have to try and fit any mold. Like, you can bring you into parenthood.
Sorry guys, it's so hard filming with kids.
Distractions. Yeah, you don't have to take every bit of advice you hear and apply it. Some you can chew the meat and spit out the bones. But yeah, that's a really good point.
Yeah, that's true. And you know, kind of just to say, I'm still learning. And why I kind of shared that top tip is because we as humans tend to always put that pressure on ourselves and say, you know, she looks like she's got it all together and her household's all, you know, happy and the kids are happy and etc. But just always remember that you don't see everything
not
that
everything
happens.
that glitters is gold.
Yes, exactly. That's a perfect saying. And you know, you're not there behind the closed door. Thank you for your tips, thank you for your advice, but just know that nothing can prepare you, and take it as you go and just learn on the job. Like, every baby's different as well.
It's true, and that's what I was going to say, that I think as mothers we need to have a confidence that although we've never done it before, you know, if you're a first time mum, this is a whole new world to you. You've never experienced something like this before, and I think nothing is going to change your life as drastically as becoming a mum does. But we need to be confident in the fact that nobody knows your children like you know your children. You know, so my mum can come with a list of 10 things that she did for me and how it worked for me, but Mia is not me. Mia's not going to respond the same way that I responded. So it's not even just a generational thing. It could be, you know, a friend of yours, you know, has a child the same age of yours as yours. But yeah, not everything is going to apply, and you need to just own the fact that yes, okay, I may not have experienced this before and I may not know it, but you know, this is my time to learn and grow with my baby. You know, as my baby's getting older, there's going to be things that you pick up along the way, and that's just it.
Preach.
Yeah,
I love that. So I would also say, don't ever doubt yourself as well, because there are times when I
think it's a lot easier said than done.
It's true. Very much easier, because don't get me wrong, at first I doubted every single move. I thought, oh my goodness, if I move her this way, or if I dress her that, or you know, if I maybe don't put a nappy cream on just the smallest things that you kind of think in your head that, like, oh,
am I doing this right?
Am I doing this right? So kind of don't doubt yourself, and then also just believe in yourself that you are the best mother you can be. And you know, not every day is going to be the same as well. There are days when you're going to feel high, when you're going to feel low.
You're going to feel like I made it today, I was productive today, and then there's days where you're literally sitting on the sofa like, what have I done with my life today? Like, it's true.
But to be honest, you need those days as well. You need those days when you can just not do anything, you know, just enjoy with your baby and have that bonding time, and not to put that pressure on yourself. I have to clean, I have to cook, I have to do this, I have to go shopping.
So
just have a relaxing day and don't doubt your worth.
It's so true. Like we as women, we're natural multitaskers. We want to be superwoman. We want to make sure the house is tidy before our husband gets in and dinner's cooked and the aromas fill the house and the house is spotless. But the reality is, life is not perfect. Like you could be, you know, everything could look perfect and then your baby will just do a madness and you know, you're back to square one again. And I think it's important to reassure yourself with the fact that that's just life, you know, nothing is going to be perfect 24/7. So
yeah,
definitely.
And having someone, I also feel like surrounding yourself with people that are real, like for example Samira, she is the realest. She'll tell you if something happened that is embarrassing or whatever, that kind of, you know, shows that how real motherhood can be. And that's what I love, because when someone is very polished and literally it looks like perfect, you kind of think, even though like deep down you know yourself, and I'm not saying it's like a jealousy thing, not at all, it's just you kind of think,
Oh, I wish I could.
Yeah.
I wonder if I can do it.
Yeah,
like
yeah.
Or,
That kind of polished effect. So having someone around you that is real tells you how it is. And Samira being my best friend, sister, like I learnt so much from her.
Aww,
especially like this is a whole new video, but like the whole discipline thing as well, you know, how you speak to your kids when they are at that stage. Obviously newborns, like I was around when Aiden was newborn, so I've seen kind of firsthand how to deal with it, and having that realness also helps, because you just think when you're in that position and you're in that situation, you kind of know that like things do happen.
Say hi. Say hi, Mimi.
Hey, Mimi.
Say hi.
She's
Say
so
hi.
beautiful.
It's so true. It's so true. Having people that you can just share the struggles with. Like,
having the realness around you. It helps so much.
So moving on. What would you say is another thing that you've learned in being girl? What would you say is another point that you've learned in being a new mum?
Okay, being a new mum, even though my daughter's 10 months, kids are sponges. Like literally they pick up on energy, language, body language, literally
facial expressions,
everything. So, you know, and it's so crazy because even though she's 10 months, like if she does something a bit naughty, like when I say naughty, I mean like or like pulls my hair a bit or something, and I have to like kind of be firm and say, no, don't do that. And then you can see the seriousness in her face.
She knows straight away.
She knows straight away. So like your tone and your language is so important.
So what would you say is the last thing that you'd offer with regards to what you've learned about becoming a new mum? What do you think is important to do?
I think it's very important, and it might seem like a lot of young mums or new mums have heard this before. Make time for yourself.
That's the serious one.
Make time for yourself, because at the end of the day, you're still you. And having something simple as your nails or your hair done will make you feel so much better as well. Just kind of making that time, me time, you know, having a relaxing bath, having, you know, a girls' night out. You know, like to give you an example, my first girls' night out, and when I say night out, it was a friend's gathering at her house, and it went on till late, had a nice takeaway, watched a movie, and it was something so nice and simple. But it was the first time in literally 8 months I've actually left Ariella, my daughter. And also since being pregnant, because when I was pregnant, I didn't go out. Didn't really go out much. So it kind of just,
and you didn't even realise how long it's been. It kind of just, you know, you're just into being a new mum, isn't it? So guys, thank you so much for watching. I hope this was insightful. I hope you learned a lot. You did great. She was actually nervous to come on, can you believe it? She was so good. I'm definitely going to be having her on more often, so let us know if there's any other topics you want us to discuss. And I think it's very refreshing to get like a new wife and a new mom's perspective and compare it to someone that has been a wife longer and been a mother longer, because whether I've been, you know, married longer or been a mother longer, I don't know it all. I'm still learning and growing every day, so it's good to compare and, you know, share in each other's experiences. So yeah, I hope you enjoyed that. Stay tuned. We will see you in my next video, guys. Bye.
I always wanted to do that. It doesn't necessarily mean that you need to fix it.
Oh man.
Where's Ariella?
Put your phone down. And motherhood. So the reason.
I'm trying to be a hype woman here. I'm trying to be a hype woman.